In this life is nothing more than a journey of time full of events that can impact, fashion, and mold each of us. That's the testaments of life that we all share, which stitches the fabric of the books of individual lives, and this is their story. In their own words, it's raw, uncut, unfiltered, and in their own truth. This is My Story by Ordinary People. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another segment of My Story by Ordinary People with me, your host, Azana Fuqua. On tonight's edition, we're going to have deep conversation with a man who has now conquered his innermost selfish demons. Please welcome Q.
Hey, what's up everyone? My name is RQ and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I want to just tell everyone my story where I survived life. Without a doubt, the thing about us as black people, we're always taught how to survive, but many times we're not taught how to live. So that's why I say I survived life. I'm still breathing, I'm still alive, but right now I'm living more than I ever have before in my life. Through the beginning of my growing up, it was survival mode, as you will. Environmental factors, just being a man as itself is probably the biggest part of it. Even though I had my father, I had mother, I had my uncle, I had father figures in my life, I still had to figure out things by going in. I wouldn't listen. I would just learn on my own. Even though my pop told me this, don't do this, don't say this, don't go there. My uncle was like, don't do this, don't. I still did the exact opposite of everything pretty much that they told me not to do. I still did. I still was running wild. I still was impulsive. I still made choices based on what I wanted and felt at the moment without thinking about consequences. And consequences caught up. Consequences were part of the transformation of who I am right now. So, with consequences in my life, getting caught, getting arrested. I was arrested in high school for disturbing the peace. I was arrested in high school. I was dating this girl in college and got into it with some frat guys. At Rose, I was arrested and they arrested me, said I raped her, and I got out of that. She was lying in the first place, but they had to drop the charges because I was in high school. You know what I mean? It's like I wasn't causing no confusion in school. It was at Rose College. I'll never forget that. It was at Rose College, and that was my first bad encounter with law enforcement. So when you're dealing with law enforcement, it was the campus police, and then the police came, and I'll never forget. I was on my knees, and the guy was like, "This guy, what is he doing?" All these guys, they were all surrounding me. So look, some off-brand frat boys, and they were all around me, and they were like, "What this guy? He didn't do anything." I'll never forget the cops saying it, but they still took me down, and that was my first time being arrested in high school. And my mom and dad came. My dad was like, "Boy, I thought you were gay." You sneaking off. And I had talked to my boy Darren. My boy Darren was on the phone. I'll never forget. I called him before it all happened. Right now, Sagiti, my boy Sagiti. What's up? Shout out to you, man. My boy Sagiti was on the phone with me, and we were talking about it. And next thing you know, I was like, man, these guys started running down the hallway getting at me. I was arrested for fighting the police in Quantico, Virginia. I had a knife out. Oh, I've been arrested for a couple of things, but all stemming from just the earlier parts that I mentioned were all, pretty much just not on me, in the wrong place at the wrong time. But later on, as I got older, it was basically anger-based. I was just mad. I don't know why I was mad. You got to remember also, I was in 2 wars at a young age, so I probably was suffering from some causes of that also. But I just had a lot of anger in me. But when people give that story, a lot of times, like you hear a lot of stories about people, and like I know for me personally, and it's probably most folks, when you end up doing and having certain things happen in your life that cause degradation or cause decline or cause you to have negative impacts on your own life, a lot of time it boils down strictly to the absence of the word. Well, again, not trying to make it one way or another, the absence of a holy word, be it whatever your religion is, if God is in front of it, regardless of what you believe in, God should be number one. And I think that once you get closer to God and you start to find, God will move you. When I was a young boy, I saw someone shot in front of me when I was 6 on Boston, Orange Mound. first black community in the United States of America, established black community, on Boston Street. I saw someone literally get shot in front of me, blood, head, all on the ground. And I was on my tricycle. I remember like it's happening right now in front of me. I was riding down in front of the house. And of all the people that shot him, the lady across the street used to read me books. She used to buy me books, read me books, sit down. And it's called a barrel lady because she had like a beard. She was dark, heavy, you know, and she had a lot of junk in front of her house. But she was kind to me. And I guess this guy, about 3 or 4 houses down, was talking mess to her. He ran across the street and pow, shot him. I was riding my tricycle. And I remember looking around and I was coming up to him and I saw the blood and my auntie ran out to get me. And that's one of the most vivid points of my life, seeing my aunt run out with these towels. And she was like Mother Teresa to me. And she got the man and she wrapped his head up, and the police, I don't remember hearing no sirens or nothing. I don't even know what the police was called. I guess 911 was not connected to something. I don't know. But I remember being dragged in the house and I saw that blood, you know what I mean, for quite some time growing up. So it's like, whew, it's like already at a problem. I used to ride the tricycle and ride my bike up and down that street all the time, but I never would pass that house. I would always turn around. I would never pass that house where he got shot. And my cousins, and I think my cousins, my Aunt Jeanette and Billy, my uncle, and Carlos, they were all down there. And at that point, I wouldn't even go see them because they lived past where that person was shot. Yeah, I was just confused. I just didn't understand. I think that was the first time I ever heard or saw anything dealing with a gun at that point. A lot of people give Orange Mound some flack, but it always was a real close, tight community. I mean, we fought. We always were fighting, always getting into some wrestling and all that, but I guess a lot of that was probably shielded. Maybe it was my parents, maybe it was God. I mean, maybe it was the fact that, you know, during that time I was pretty much the only child across the board. I had one other cousin that I hung with, but, you know, that was far and in between. We didn't see each other a lot, maybe on the weekend. I think I just felt probably confused. I didn't understand. I think I do remember police finally coming and getting her, and I remember not having no books read to me, you know, or the tea and coffee time she used to do for me. To that, but I think that being young, I think I may have been 7 or 8, maybe even 6 or 7. I don't think, I think more of anything that impacted me was the fact that I didn't see her. You know, because I did just run across the street and she would give me, you know, something to eat, and she would have little fake tea sets out and she would read these Winnie the Pooh books and Disney books to me. I think not having that was greater of an impact on me than seeing a man that, you know, got shot, got slain right down the street. But like I said, I guess if I took anything from there, I keep seeing my aunt, my oldest aunt, Mickey, Juanita, and I keep seeing her run out the house, and my other Aunt Penny, Aunt Penny got me, and my oldest aunt, Mickey, Juanita, went and she helped this man. You know what I mean? I had never seen her react like this. It was real quick and fast, and she almost like she had a first aid class. You know what I mean? It's like the classes we go through for work sometimes, and that we learn in the military. I'm like, she knew what she was doing. She had the towel. She knew how to hold the man, and the man had family. She was out there before his family was. So just seeing my Aunt Mickey at that point, it was like Mother Teresa to me. It was like, oh, you know, it was like an angel. I'm like, wow, you know. So like, to this very day, I see her, and I have so much respect for her. Whenever I do see her, I don't see as much as I probably should or I would like, but whenever I think about it or see somebody that's kind and that reaches out, man, Mickey comes up just like that.
And yet you were able to go off to the military?
I literally joined the military to fight. You know what I mean? And that, you know what? Now we talking about seeing that, it maybe had an impact, just one that some people would think. It's like if you get molested sometimes, you don't always dislike men. Sometimes you gravitate toward that, you know, because you feel like this is what you should do. Or if you are, you know, going through something traumatic in life, sometimes you like, okay, you went through this, why are you a part of this? If your mama smoked crack and your dad smoked crack, why are you, you know, selling drugs? You know what I mean? You would think that a drug dealer who mom or dad is on some type of substance, it don't make any sense. Your mom is sitting struggling, smoking crack. You selling drugs. You selling drugs. You think you're trying to get away. So I guess that's one of the things. But hey, I saw I'm just talking now. Maybe you saw the effect that a gun has on people. How it can stop, somebody from talking crazy and being violent to you. And it's like, hey, that's extra power in my hand right there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure that I don't let nothing ever happen to me or the ones that I love. So hey, I'm gonna pick up a gun. I'm gonna learn how to fight. And I think that may have been it. But more than anything, I just wanted to get out of the house. I just wanted to go do something. College, it wasn't for me at that point. I found that out the easy way, or the hard way, and I'm like, man, I need to go do something else. And the military was it. It wasn't an escape for me. I didn't have a bad childhood. I wasn't trying to leave the bad streets of Detroit. You know what I mean? I wasn't struggling. I just wanted to go do something. I was adventurous. I just wanted to go and have some fun. I thought, let's go fight. Most of my times that were fun were when I was in the field training. That's what I joined for. I joined for, again, survival skills. Not living life, but I joined for survival skills. So there's some things that I learned that I probably would have never learned or knew right now if I had not joined the military. Just having this conversation with you and just analyzing it now as an adult, with the different forms of education, with life education, formal education, looking at it and processing it, it's possible that they did have a lot to do with it. Psychoanalyzing myself, that is, looking at it, that's possible. So that's what I try to do now in my life. I try to have balance, and I try to be even keel on either side of the spectrum. I don't try to be in the streets, but also I know how to have fun. I ain't trying to work all the time and not have nothing to show for it, but I do understand that hard work pay off no matter where you are. I try to have a balance, with everything that I do now.
So it's safe to say that the selfishness that you endured growing up, kind of sort of after high school, going through the military, and then whatever in between before now, kind of like fashion and mold you to be like this.
Yeah, me being selfish helped me to be better today. And, it took, like I said, it took a couple of falling out. I thought it was my mom's death. They brought me back, to the word a little bit, but that wasn't good enough. Believe it or not, the worst death was probably my divorce. That was some death. That was some death. That showed me a reflection of me. That brought me back to my compassion, and that brought me back to my what was the word I was using? My empathy, and that brought me back to my nurturing instinct. Like, dude, who are you? This ain't who you are. And crying in that Bible, man. That Bible was a reflection to me. It showed me, you know what I mean? And I was just sick for a long time. And I had some close friends, to help me out. My boy, Deuce Donaldson, that's my man. He helped me out. My pastor, Gary Davis, at that time was there for me. My boy, Jay Bazay, Jules Docker was there for me. And that's why it's good to have those people that literally have your back. They literally mean well by you, and they're there to support you. And, they can't tell you it's going to be okay and you shouldn't have did this, but just the fact that they're there, and they're there to hang out with you, they're there to hear you, they're there to take your mind off things, that helped a lot. But when you talk about that was it right there, Azana, that was it. That brought me back to that, because that was a rough time. And adding on to the fact that I let my children down, and sometimes that's a reflection of motivation right there. Because when you got children, that's a letdown for them. When you're not, it's hard enough if you just by yourself with a child. It's even harder sometimes, when there's no one but you and the child. But even when you got somebody, it's still hard. So I feel like I let them down in a lot of ways, and it was a big reflection for me. So it brought my compassion back. It brought my empathy back, and it brought my nurturing instincts back a whole lot.
What's the death of a relationship?
The death of a relationship. Yep.
That's really amazing to find yourself because of the pitfalls based on your actions during the relationship, but when it was at its demise is when you actually had to reflect and look at the man in the mirror.
Yeah, because you don't know what you got till it's gone. So I surviving life, and this is my story. A life of growing, a life of love, a life of selfishness, a life of loss, but it comes back to being a life nonetheless. And I'm still surviving today, and I thank you. My name is Minister R.Q. and this is my story.
There's a testament for you. Having to overcome your own selfish demons in order to be able to find yourself, in order to spread the love and spread the word. Thank you for watching another edition of My Story by Ordinary People with me, Azana Fuqua. Until next time, please be well, my friend.